5 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I say you better specify that. Yes, it's 5 a.m. Eastern to here.
It is, and this is the race recap.
Yes, it is.
And Kim, what races are we recapping this weekend?
We are
or this week or today here on Monday morning.
Yes,
it's fucking Monday.
Oh, I know it is.
Right in the beginning, so if we ever get monetized, this video won't be monetized. My bad.
We are
we never gonna get monetized.
No, we are recapping the F1 Australian Grand Prix, and
held at Albert Park in Melbourne,
Australia, and we are recapping the EchoPark Grand Prix for NASCAR down at the Circuit of the Americas,
or better known
in
as
Austin,
COTA.
Texas. Yes, better known as COTA.
Anyways,
morning, Luna girl.
Morning, LG. Yeah, here we are, 5 a.m. Used to be Tuesday mornings, but now it's Monday mornings.
Morning, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Anyways, so what a wild weekend for F1 and NASCAR.
I'd say it's a wild weekend. It was a wild weekend.
Definitely more for F1 than NASCAR.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. Obviously, we're going to have a few things to talk about when we do the breakdowns of the events. And
just to let everybody know,
think the cat.
It's 4 a.m. here. Well, they wanted to get up early.
They had a feeling.
Yes.
Anyway,
just a heads up to everybody, there will be a Kimberly rant.
And guess what? It don't happen. You can do a tire blanket.
No, I don't.
J1.
No, I don't.
So she's got a new rant.
Yes, I have a new rant.
Which is ironic when you think about it. Anyways, so obviously we're coming off of this last weekend. Coming up this weekend, we only have NASCAR to talk about.
Yes, we do. They are
Easter
weekend, which are in Richmond.
Right. So NASCAR's running Easter weekend.
A Kim Racing rant?
Yeah, definitely a Kim Racing rant. So, and yeah, they'll be racing at Richmond Internet, or gosh, is it Richmond Raceway or Richmond Speedway? Or is it? Okay, back in my day, I've been watching NASCAR for a very long time. So back in my day, it was Richmond International Raceway.
I just know it as Richmond.
I know everybody just knows it as Richmond, but anyways. So we'll
gonna
figure it out at the end.
Yes.
So let's get into this. Let's get into Formula
One.
But again, Australian Grand Prix held down in Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. The pole award went to Max Verstappen of Red Bull Racing.
Yes, it did.
Starting outside of Max was Carlos Sainz, and then behind Max was Perez, also of Sergio Perez, that is, of Red Bull Racing.
Mm-hmm. Charles Leclerc.
Number 4 was Norris.
Okay, that was Lando Norris.
Right, but one reason I really bring up the Perez one is because of the fact that Sergio did get a 3-grid penalty from qualifying for impeding Hulkenberg, right?
Yes.
Of Haas F1
team, yes.
So I bring that up. So he actually ended up starting P6.
6, yes.
And let's get into this.
Okay, we'll get into it and then I'll rant.
All right. So, well, I mean, obviously lights went out. Turn one. Well, okay, first of all, let's start with I know the first one's going to cause a rant. There were only 19 of 20 cars on the track.
That was because.
So Alex Albon
of Williams Racing,
driver of the Williams Racing car, wrecked his car in FP1, destroyed it so bad that they did not have a spare chassis to use. At that moment, the team decided, in all efforts of the team, the better person to drive the car would be Alex Albon, because he would, you can tell this is going to be the start of the first rant, because he has scored the most. He scored 27 of the 28 points last season. So they ain't bring the next one. So one, obviously, Logan Sargent, the American, got to sit out this race. He participated in FP1. He had participated in free practice 2. And then Logan sat out the rest of the weekend. Now, Martin Brundle, who is a Sky Sports commentator, literally stated on FP or free practice 3 on Saturday, I don't even know why he's still here. I would have left. And I'm with Martin on that one. I would have been like, out of here. Peace out. Have fun racing this weekend, bitches. But that's just me. Obviously, it shows like me and Martin are kind of like on the same page because I would have been the same way, but like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Alex Albon took over the car for Logan Sargent. At that moment, Alex did take over all of Logan's engine power units and all the parts and pieces to the car that are counted throughout the season. Jeez. Oh wow, this might be a record. We're gonna have a Kim rant within 4 minutes. I'm trying to milk it a little bit, as you guys can tell. Anyways, so that moment there, Logan Sargent was sidelined. Alex Albon was going to take reins and be able to get what the team thought would be a point for the team. Because 1 point, 1 position in a Constructors' Championship at the end of the season is worth millions of dollars. All right, Kim. I'm just going to shut my mic off.
That was bullshit. Big time bullshit.
Here we go.
Because it was Logan's car. Logan was the one that was racing in it. Fuck Alex, who was the one that decided to destroy his car. But yet, because he destroyed his car, the only American F1 driver, which is Logan Sargent, decided he get kicked to the sideline. Oh, we're going to want to get a point. Bullshit, Williams. That is fucking bullshit. Ugh. You want Americans to watch the show? Then you better have an American driver in there.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, first of all, I kind of agree with the team on this, Kim. I'm sorry, but Logan only got 1 point last season.
I don't care.
Overall. Okay, I'm with you on the fact that you wreck your car, you should be out of the event. Just like TV. And if you it'd be like, jump into NASCAR. NASCAR's got 4 teams. Yeah. They bring 2 cars to every race. One, I'm shocked that one. Is this the new F1 where we don't bring extra chassis? I mean, is this not just like is this like does Red Bull do the same thing? Does Ferrari do the same thing? Does Mercedes do the same thing? McLaren, Sauber. Who else am I forgetting? Those are the main ones I remember.
RB.
Haas. RB. Okay. RB used to be Toro Rosso.
Used to be
that, and now it's RB Racing. Like, oh my gosh, really?
It used to,
But anyways,
yeah.
So is this the new F1 where they don't bring a spare chassis? In other words, there's 2 chassis there the whole weekend. So Albon's chassis has been sent back to the factory to get repaired for the next race at Japan.
Well, let's hope it's repaired. And he's not taking over Logan's car again. Otherwise, Logan no need to be at the track.
Well, yeah, I mean, at that point, then Logan wouldn't even have a ride. I mean, he'd be done. I mean, he needs to go read his contract and make sure he doesn't have some type of out clause where they screwed him over.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, that's the only reason why Sir Lewis Hamilton is leaving Mercedes, because he had an out clause.
Yeah.
And he jumped on that at the beginning of the season.
Yes, he did. Oh, yeah. That was big news beginning. Even before testing was concluded, that was big news.
Here we go. So early season already started. Like, we haven't had a race yet.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyways. All right. So, yes. So, you ready to go over the event?
Yes.
Or do you have another F1 rant?
No, my other rant won't come until NASCAR, and that's going to be a hell of a rant.
All right. Let's go over the race itself. Real quick, just because I want all the logistics stuff. Obviously, again, Albert Park, Australian Grand Prix at 5.278 kilometers and 58 laps. First Grand Prix there was 1996. This is a combination purposeful built track.
Yes.
Spots. There's purposeful built spots for the track. But the rest of it is pretty much a street course.
Yeah, it does go through a parking lot, though.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. There's kind of purposeful built sections of the racetrack. and then the rest of it is just street track.
Yeah, and gotta recognize that the Birds decide they wanted to try and race and decide that was not
That was
not in the
hilarious.
best interest for them to try and race.
Race distance is 306.124 kilometers. Lap record. Okay, well, that was just broken. 1 minute, 19 seconds, 0.813 to Charles Leclerc, Ferrari driver, 2024.
Yeah, I figured
So
he
it
would
just was
break
broken.
it. Yeah, I figured he would break it.
Here's my biggest issue with this one. 4 DRS zones.
Why?
Drag with DRS stands for drag reduction system. So literally you got a rear wing for everybody that's kind of new. And when they are within 1 minute of this of the
I'll demonstrate.
Oh, you're gonna demonstrate? Okay. When you're within 1 minute of the car in front of you, you can in these DRS sections, you can press a button and the rear wing opens. So literally it's like this and goes like that.
Yeah.
Opens up a spot. It is worth, but it's
16 tenths of faster.
I think it's like 16 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, 16 kilometers an hour.
Something like this. Freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's 4 of those.
Which is unnecessary.
Way unnecessary.
That's the most, I think, on any F1 track.
It is. And the only one new rule this year I do like is the minute after the lights out, we come around next lap, DRS is enabled.
Yes.
I mean, we're not waiting. Was it 3 laps before?
3 laps. Yeah, they had to do a total of 3 laps.
Well, I think they did that. I think they did that on purpose. I think they did that this year on purpose because last year, by the time you got 3 laps in the race, Max was already 5 seconds out.
Yes.
Max is like, goodbye.
Exactly.
See y'all at the end of the race when we're up here on the podium.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So we're gonna start right at the top. This is gonna be a crazy event. I mean, I'm shocked Kim wasn't in tears during this race, but hey, whatever.
Hey.
P1, your podium start. P1. Carlos Sainz, driver of the car 55 for Ferrari. Also a man who Jeddah weekend 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
After FP1 and FP2 on Friday, went through appendix removal surgery.
Yes.
Come back to the track after that, during that race, just to be there at the track, but is back in the car this weekend and wins the friggin' race.
Yes, which I will tell you why I was not disappointed, because at this time, I am getting to the point that I got to with Mercedes when they were constantly winning and it was Mercedes this and Mercedes that. I'm getting to that point with Red Bull.
Well, I think, okay, but you put it to me better during the race.
Yeah.
You said this is exactly how you started feeling when you're, sorry, I have a hard time with this team's name.
When my Patriots started their dynasty. Yes, I felt the same way about the Patriots because it was constantly Patriots winning, Patriots winning, Patriots winning. Yes, Patriots is my team. Yes, I've been a diehard Patriot fan. But after a while, it's like, okay, somebody else win.
Well, okay, it was like in the late or whoever years those were when Hendrick was just ripping up the tracks for NASCAR, and Jimmy went on that 5 championship streak.
Yeah,
I mean, I was a fan of Hendrick Motorsports at that time because I was a Jeff Gordon fan, and I was sick of them winning.
Yeah,
I was sick. I was like, I kept saying year after year, if Jimmy wins this, especially when we got to the 5th one, I'm like, if he wins one more in a row, I'm done watching NASCAR.
Yeah,
because it was boring.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It wasn't like he was winning every race, but still, that's the only difference that Max and Red Bull did, which we're going to get into that, why I think Max and Red Bull have been so on fire here with this new regs.
Yeah.
Anyways, P2, his teammate, Charles Leclerc, driver number 16 Ferrari. So Ferrari 1-2 on the podium.
Yes, that's what Ferrari needed.
It wasn't just what Ferrari needed, it was F1 needed.
It was what F1 needed.
After Max coming out in Bahrain and then Jeddah winning both those races, like, oh my gosh.
And just to fill you in,
we'll get to Red Bull. We're gonna get to Red Bull.
Okie
We'll
dokie.
get there.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to do this like we normally do, talk team by team. But I mean, Carlos was the stud of the weekend. I mean, he was fast all weekend long. Charles took forever to get the car figured out. And then here's the kicker. Again, you got Ferrari literally kicking Carlos Sainz to the curb.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, he has no contract right now with any other teams.
No.
And Ferrari's bringing in obviously 7-time champion Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
So they've kicked Carlos to the curb, but yet Carlos is pretty much, even last year, all the way most through the season, he was the most consistent finisher out of him and Charles.
Yeah.
But they've kicked Carlos to the curb, keeping Charles with and bringing Lewis in 2025.
Yeah. That's not right.
Well, it's not right, but I mean, it's like, you guys just screw up because, I mean, I'm sorry, but F1 needed, exactly. Oh, definitely, DB.
Yeah.
F1 needed anybody else to win. I mean, even
besides Red Bull,
even if Merck would have won that race,
I would have been happy.
Mercedes, by the way, I always say Merck. Even if Mercedes would have won the race, or McLaren would have, anybody else besides Red Bull had to win that race.
Yeah, because I was just thrilled.
The problem is we're going to get to it, and I mean, obviously, we know her opinion will be one thing because she's biased. In a way, for me, it was great because I am a Ferrari fan. So for me, it was great. Well, to see Ferrari 1-2, especially when last year, I mean, only race, again, when you look at it, the only race Max lost last year was Singapore. Yeah. And it was Carlos Sainz that won. Mm-hmm. So again, Fred Vasseur and Ferrari decided to let him go. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine the 1-2 punch? I mean, I'm just looking at it this way going, if you bring in Lewis Hamilton. Yeah. And you got Carlos Sainz. Yeah. Woo, oh, yeah. You got a 1-2 punch there. Yeah, you do. Because Carlos has turned into a really great driver. He is. And he's a smart driver. He is a very smart driver. You hear it all the time, every weekend. He's always talking about, especially when Ferrari's having their issues with, quote unquote, their strategy. He would come up with different strategies. What? So small. But yeah, definitely F1. I mean, F1 definitely needed this because it needed something to happen to Red Bull. And yes, it did. But finish out your podium though. McLaren driver, Lando Norris. Yes. Now, and finishing right behind him at P4 was his teammate, Oscar Piastri, who's also Australian. Yes. So I mean, since this is the highest finishing Australian since Daniel Ricciardo. Yeah. I think they might have tied about the same position. I don't know if Ricciardo ever finished it really high in Australia. Oh, I can't remember. But I can't remember. A great day for McLaren. Now, early on, Charles and Piastri at the first state they both peeled in because George Russell and Mercedes had made a pit stop. Yes. And they were trying to cover him, which thing kind of put both of them faster than Lando at one point. Yeah. And Lando wasn't happy about that. No, he was not. I think Lando stayed up like extra 5 laps. The overcut. Now that's when you put on a set of tires and you jump your competitors. Yes. Versus the undercut. Which you come into Wait. No, what was that? Damn, I can't remember. Undercut. Isn't undercut when they pit early? Yeah, undercuts. Yeah, undercuts when they pit early and try to outpit your teammate. I think I have this stuff. We're gonna get that information for you. Keep talking about McLaren. It was a great day for McLaren. Yeah. Well, yeah, because McLaren needed it too. I mean, they needed it as well as Ferrari because it's like, okay. Sorry, it was a classic undercut. Charles and Oscar ended up undercutting Norris. Yeah. Yes, undercut is when you stop first, put on a new set of tires, and you leap your competitor who's out on older tires when they come in and pit. Yeah. Over is when they stay out longer and gain off of new tires. Yeah. Or getting
Which
out
is
the
what-
old tires versus the new tires.
Yeah, which is what Lando actually did, because he did gain a little bit.
Oh, he didn't. No, I mean, when he came out of the pit, I mean, when he came out of the pits, he was behind both Piastri and Leclerc. I mean, but eventually McLaren's like, as
Switch.
Lando starts catching Piastri, he's like, okay, they're like,
Flip.
okay, flip
Which
position. Again was a major sigh. You know, the Aussie fans were not happy about that.
No, they were
But,
not.
I mean, I can understand. I mean, we're pissed off what
Williams did with
Logan Sargent. And
so the Aussie fans was pissed what they did with Oscar, so it's understood.
Right. It is. But yeah, I mean, other than that, McLaren had a great day. They, maximized points, third and fourth. They're definitely, I mean, it was funny because David Croft, who's a commentator for Sky F1, he made the comment that the last time that we had 2 Ferraris finish in 1-2 and 2 McLarens finish in 3-4 was 2007.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who was all driving for the teams, but except for I do remember who they said was driving for McLaren, and that was Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
So that is crazy.
Yeah, very crazy.
Think about it.
Yeah. And they also made the comment too that most of the time the one that wins the Grand Prix also goes on to win the Drivers' Championship.
And the constructors title. Well, except for that 1 year. I mean, obviously we can go back to 2021. Red Bull won, Max won the Drivers' Championship, and Mercedes won the constructors title. Yeah. But yeah, normally if you win the Australian Grand Prix, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see right now.
Yeah, we are.
Obviously, we got a long season to go. We're only in race 3 we got 21 more races to go this season.
Yeah, we do.
It's a long season.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, NASCAR's longer. Obviously, there's 36 races plus whatever they do in between with the Clash and the All-Star races and then Gatorade 125s that used to be called great. It's, ladies and gentlemen, it's not been called the Gatorade 125s for years at Daytona.
No.
The duels at Daytona. How about that?
Yeah, the duels at
Which
Daytona.
we do for Daytona 500. But anyways,
we do.
Oh my gosh, I can't see. I just showed my age.
Yeah, I know.
Right there. I just I mean, not that the gray hair don't help it. The gray in my everything don't help, but
yeah, I know.
Yeah, when you say the Gatorade 125s,
then
showing your damn age.
Yeah, you've been in NASCAR for a while.
Yeah, definitely. All right, P5 finisher in position 5 or place number 5, Sergio Perez, Red Bull Racing.
Yes, which was,
and I would like to say that finishing P6 was Max Verstappen, but unfortunately, Max Verstappen DNF'd. He was out by lap 3 of this race.
Mechanical failure.
First mechanical failure that Red Bull and Max have had since the 2022 Australian Grand Prix.
Yes.
So 2 years ago.
Yeah. And the reason why I didn't care is because I was glad he was out and I was rooting for Carlos the whole way.
I'll tell you one thing though. It was because Martin brought up, he thought him and Crosby thought the engine was going. And it was crazy because that's a brand new engine because they put a brand new engine in.
Yeah, they did.
Come to find out, I have to listen to Max's interviews and stuff. When he left the grid, he said he felt like the car was pulling or like one of the brakes. And after they looked at the data, the right rear tire was engaged. The brakes were engaged. It was like you had the e-brake on your car.
Yeah.
And it hauling ass down the hill. And eventually it gets hot. As it gets hot, eventually it catches fire.
Yes.
And there was a fire.
Yeah, there was. Yes, Stevie.
What?
They're talking about the Winston Cup.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yep, when it used to be called the Winston Cup. I remember when it was called the Winston Cup, and then I remember when it was called the Nextel Cup, and then when it went over to Sprint.
Nextel Sprint.
Yeah.
Then you went Monster Energy, and now it's just the Bill France Cup.
Yeah. But I remember when the series was called Winston.
It should be called Winston Cup. Anyways, we're talking Formula One.
I know, but
I know.
I'm watching the chat here.
All right. Anyways, so obviously everyone erupted the good thing was that Carlos Sainz actually passed Max for the lead before Max blew up or before he had an issue.
Yes,
But
and
man, I tell you one, the pieces and parts were falling off that. Max is letting the team know he's got a fire. We're all waiting for him just to pull into a fire spot along the track, and he drove it all the way back to pit road, where pieces and parts were
you started a Scott.
I know. I always started.
Yeah, I was waiting for him too to pull in because usually when you got a fire, they pull into the nearest
fire location
and
along the wall.
Along the wall, the marshals come out with fire extinguishers.
Yeah, but they didn't. He went all the way to pit road, and then the marshals all realized it was kind of funny watching because all the marshals were kind of like, "Is that smoke I see there?" But as he was coming down to get as he was getting in the pit lane,
poof!
Hold on, before he got to the pit limiter spot, so that once they get to a certain line, they have to go a certain speed down the pit road, and they press a little button on their steering wheel, gives them pit limiter. Yeah, that friggin' rear tire blew.
Yeah, it went poof, and out it
poof, man. It was like dark smoke all over the place. Yeah. So they get down there. And we actually go back because we got F1 TV. We went back and watched Max's in-car on this. And Max is sitting there while they're putting out the flames. And finally he's like, "Can I get out?"
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm like, dude, I would have been out of that car before that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was hoping that it wasn't that bad. It was, they can get it out and he can go back out.
Yeah.
But it melted everything around the carbon fiber brakes.
Yeah, it did.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But Red Bull, I mean, obviously, Christian Horner talked about it at the end of the race where they won't know for sure what caused it until they get back to the factory.
Yeah.
Where they can actually get the car tore apart, go through all the data, and know that. And that was the other thing too, is like Kim and I were really shocked that no point from lights out to when Max says, besides he's saying I'm getting loose and stuff like that, to the point when Max said, "I've got a problem, I'm on fire." At no point was there any radio communication from his engineer that at least one brake was heating up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, okay, so you say you've got all of this data, whatever it's called,
TJ,
on these cars, but yet you don't radio out to your driver, beware, you need to box because your brake's on fire. Yeah. Oh yes, it's real bad communication, DB. Really bad communication. Especially,
it almost reminds me of those days just a few years ago when we were talking about how bad Ferrari was with all their we're going to switch to plan C. Well, what do you think about plan D? Well, how about plan H? What about plan L? For all their strategy, we're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And the one thing that I really, really commend Ferrari on is they did not flip their drivers.
No. Yeah, because
normally
they brought it up during the race that he literally asked Martin, should Ferrari
flip their drivers?
Let Leclerc win this race over Sainz because that would put Leclerc in the lead of the drivers' championship.
Yeah.
And Martin's like, no.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin Brundle, for bringing this sense of reason to Crofty.
Yeah. And as the laps wound down, I was thinking they're going to.
Carlos kept pulling away, man. I mean,
but even as Carlos kept pulling away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Even as Carlos kept pulling away, I was.
Matter of fact, anybody got any graham crackers and marshmallows and chocolate? We don't have to put this out right away. We can have some s'mores here, boys. Or if we want, if it was America, they could have got some friggin' hot dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have hot dogs.
I don't know.
None of them actually probably eat that stuff.
I know. Anyway, as the lap started winding down, I was waiting for the command to come over the radio. Carlos, slow down, let Leclerc catch you, and we're going to flip positions with you and him.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Nope, they didn't.
Well, I mean, Carlos got, out. Let's see. Leclerc, this here, because it was, and we'll get to the reason why there was a virtual safety car at the end of the race. At this point, Leclerc was beat by 2.3 seconds.
But still, they could have told Sainz to slow down and let Leclerc catch him.
Well, here's the thing, too, is like Norris was 5.9 seconds back.
Yeah.
And this is another reason why. And Piastri had a couple ops and stuff like that. He's
Yeah.
at 35 seconds back.
Yeah.
Anyway, so P5 at 56.3 seconds back. Now, here's my question, Kim.
Yeah.
Is Red Bull in trouble?
Yes, they really are.
Because again, we've got this issue. We love Checo Perez and Sergio Perez. The problem is he's never there.
No, he's not.
When Max has an issue, if Max has an issue, which he hasn't had one since Australian Grand Prix 2022, when Max has an issue, you expect that second driver to be able
higher
to
in the points.
Well,
if not win the race.
He should be winning the race.
Yeah.
And Checo just doesn't do it.
No.
So let me ask you this question. If you're Red Bull Racing, do you sit there and start talking to Carlos Sainz?
Yes.
Kick Sergio Perez to the curb towards the end of the season, say, yeah, you're not it, and put Carlos and Max together, because one, Carlos and Max have actually been teammates already.
Yes, they have.
Back in Toro Rosso days, which is the sister team to Red Bull,
which is now RB.
Yeah, I'm gonna struggle.
Sponsored by Visa Cash App.
Yeah, you're right. It is sponsored by Visa Cash App.
But yes, if I was Red Bull, I would start making my little bird tweets, going over there and talking to Carlos and saying, what do you think about coming over and being part of Red Bull, being the second driver to Max?
Otherwise, I mean, Carlos should be going. I mean, how Toto isn't calling Carlos is beyond me.
Yeah,
But my problem is see, there's this thing. I know we talked about. I think we talked about on our previous episode where there's an addendum to Max Verstappen's contract.
Yes, there was.
If Red Bull Racing fires Helmut Marko, Max is gone.
Yeah. Okay.
So if they fire Helmut over Christian,
it's all the
se, and they lose Max Verstappen.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, is that why Toto's sitting? I mean,
I think that's why I saw a story where Toto
came out and apologized for his comments about Max Verstappen after the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where he was not happy that Lewis lost his eighth title and blah, 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 and how it was handled.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden, Toto's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. I mean, he's kissing Max's ass.
Well, yeah, because if it comes down to it where Christian loses his job.
But here's my question to you. If you're Max Verstappen, do you really go to Mercedes? I mean, they're like third best right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because right now you'd be going from.
Actually, they're not even third best. They're fourth or fifth best.
I wouldn't, because you'd be going from a championship winning car down to nothing, basically. Now.
Honestly, I think if Helmut Marko gets fired or whatnot and Max ends his contract, I almost guarantee Max Verstappen does not race another race in Formula One.
No.
He'll call it a career in Formula One.
Yeah, he will.
And he'll go do whatever else he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because he's already said he don't expect to be racing in 10 years.
No, he don't.
At least not Formula One racing.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, kid's been doing it his whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad pretty much drilled Formula One into his head.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, let's get moving on.
Yes. Next team on the list.
Finishing P6 with 93.2 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. Lance Stroll.
That was
with Aston Martin.
That, I tell you, their drivers and cars are shockers this year.
Now, mind you, we are giving the actual correct finishing order at the penalties that come out.
Yeah.
Because really, originally, I don't remember what position he finished in. Do you?
Ooh.
Fernando originally.
He originally finished in fifth. He originally finished behind Oscar, I believe.
Was he P5 at the end of the race?
Yeah, I believe he was P5. Because you said Sergio ended up P5, right?
Yeah, Sergio finished P5.
It was Alonso behind Sergio, or yeah, Alonso in front of Sergio.
Yeah, I don't have. I don't see you were. Anyway, go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, it was Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Piastri. Originally, it was Alonso, and then I can't remember who was behind him. Whoever was behind him. Yeah,
I'm just trying to see where he was originally. That way I can.
I think it was Lance that was behind
He was
him.
okay. Alonso was originally P6,
P6, okay.
and with getting a 20-second penalty, drive-through penalty,
Yeah,
after the race, which was converted to 20 seconds, dropped him from 6th to 8th place.
yeah,
So that promoted Lance Stroll up to P6.
yeah.
All right. Obviously, Lance Stroll drives for his daddy's car,
Which is Aston Martin.
So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and talk about this. So again, Fernando Alonso finishes P8. Lance had he had a great day.
Yeah,
He had no issues, no nothing. I
No.
mean, but the problem is, and if you've watched the race or seen replays or whatnot of this, of the Fernando and George Russell incident,
yes,
you're literally what happens is the second to last lap.
yes.
No,
Second,
last lap.
last lap. Yeah,
We're on lap 57 and 58.
yeah,
Fernando coming out of turn 6, 7 complex. All previous times he obviously had a big gap. All of a sudden, George just caught him like a banshee.
yeah,
Almost like Alonso brake checked him.
yeah,
I'm like, at least I didn't say brake test like they do.
yeah,
I hear every time they say brake test, I'm like, what?
yeah. Brake checked him.
So, but Fernando said he was just trying different lines.
Yeah,
But then again, I mean, I understand the FIA's or the steward's position on that. And go ahead, Kim, talk about what you can while I look up.
okay.
I meant to have this ready to go.
All right. So on
Will
the
Duxon had something that was really cool.
yeah, on all we really seen was we seen Russell hit the wall. The front two tires had come off. Each of the four tires on an F1 car have what they call tethers, and the tethers kept him on. But in keeping him on, it turned Russell on his side, turning Russell on his side in the middle of the track. So he later said in his interview that it was him that hit the wall it was his fault because he hit the wall, and that's what caused all this. But on the replay, it's hard to see.
Okay. We're gonna have a lot of fun here.
It's hard to see whether or not there was a brake check or if there was problems with Fernando's car. Alonso.
As far as like seeing if there's a brake check, I mean that's easy. You just go look at the data. Keep talking.
Yeah, well, yeah, you look at the data, and I guess when they looked back over it, I guess it showed that he did touch his brakes, so that technically would be a brake check.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we're talking going almost 100 and some odd, at least 100 miles, probably close to 100 miles an hour at this point.
Yeah,
because it's one of the fastest points of the rate of the
Yeah.
track. Here's the one thing I want to talk to you about though, and get your opinion on. This has been a deal. Obviously, when we went back and watched George Russell's in-car camera or in-car from F1 TV, George literally comes on the radio and is screaming "red flag, red flag."
I'm in the middle of the track
because he was.
He was.
The car
Yeah.
ended up in the middle of the track, and he's kind of tilted like this.
Yeah. He's on his
The
side.
tires are tethered, and the tires go underneath the car. I was waiting for it to go fully over, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So I want to know, in your opinion, should the race have been red flagged? Obviously, you're not going to get a lap of racing because, regardless, I mean, because Carlos started taking 57, so obviously by the time they throw the red flag, he would have to come straight down pit road. If they usually only do that when they red flag it.
No.
Usually give them one extra lap to come back around, but depending on where they're at on the track.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't matter because even
with the
because I'm assuming the stewards would have just, or not stewards, the race director would have said, "Well, restart it."
Yeah.
The whole point of red flagging it at that point for George, I mean, besides being in the middle of the track and being a safety issue, would have been to protect, hopefully, the race director would not restart the race, which then would protect his P6.
Yeah.
Because they would go back to the previous lap
Yeah.
to get the finishing order.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that, Kim? Well, I'll get ready to read this whole FIA steward's
thing
explanation here.
Okay. I guess it comes down to this for me.
Yeah.
Yes, they should have red flagged the race because it was a danger, because you've seen it as people were coming through. But then, okay, so if you saw them slow down, was their teams communicating with their drive?
I'm gonna assume it's because, I mean, all teams got, obviously you got people back in the factory watching the race, watching all of it, and I'm sure every one of them you ever heard yelling there, and the engineers were yelling, "Hey, turn 6, 7, Russell's in the middle of the track.
Yeah. And
slow the hell down."
Yeah. I think it should have been red flagged. And then at that point, if I was the race director, this is just Kimberly's opinion.
Yeah.
I would have just called the race and declared it, because they were over halfway through.
Right. I mean, you only had one
left.
When you would have came back out. I mean, if you went down the pit road, they would come back out.
You would get under a safety car. You would have finished under a safety car anyway.
Veered the safety car in as they're coming out, as it gets back to the pit road, and they would just have a nice little trundle across the start finish line to get the final lap done.
Yeah. And
which still would have put Russell down in P17. I mean, technically he's classified, which is lucky for him.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. He's going to get no points for P17.
But at least red flagging the race, at least you're minimizing the danger to the rest of the drivers, and more to the point, minimizing what could have happened, leaving Russell there, not red flagging the race.
All right, well, this is what we got. We got the steward's decision, and obviously it was a drive-through penalty imposed after the race, converted to a 20-second added to elapsed time in the race in accordance with Article 5.3. According to this, the infringement was breach of Article 3.4 of the FIA Formula One sporting regulations. Reasoning being, and this is obviously given to car 14, Fernando Alonso of Aston Martin Armco F1 team. Reason given, the stewards heard from the driver of car 63, George Russell, and the driver of car 14, Fernando Alonso, team representatives, and reviewed positioning, marshaling, system data, video, telemetry, team radio, and car video evidence and telemetry supplied by both drivers. Car 63 crashed at the exit of turn 6 on lap 57. The stewards have extensively reviewed the situation that occurred prior to the crash. Car 63 was following car 14, approximately 0.5 seconds behind the cars as the cars approached turn 6. Alonso explained to the stewards that he intended to approach turn 6 differently, lipping earlier with less speed into the corner to get a better exit. Russell explained to the stewards from his perspective, Alonso's maneuver was erratic, took him by surprise, caused him to close distance unusually fast, with resulting lower downforce at the apex of the corner. He lost control and crashed at the exit of the corner. There was no contact between the cars. Telemetry shows that Alonso lifted slightly more than 100 meters earlier than he ever had going into that corner during the race.
Oh.
He also braked very slightly at the point that he did not usually brake, although the amount of brake was so slight that it was not the main reason for his car slowing. And he downshifted at a point he never usually downshifted. He then upshifted again and accelerated to the corner before lipping again to make the corner. Alonso explained that while his plan was to slow earlier, he got it slightly wrong and had to take extra steps to get back up to speed. Nonetheless, this maneuver created a considerable and unusual closing speed between the cars. In considering the matter, the stewards focused solely on the wording of the regulation, which states, and I quote, "At no time may a car be driven unnecessarily slow, erratically, or in a manner which could be deemed potentially dangerous to other drivers and any other person," end quote, Article 33.4. Specifically, in this case, the stewards have not considered the consequences of the crash. Further, the stewards considered that they do not have sufficient information to determine whether Alonso's maneuver was intended to cause Russell problems, or whether, as he stated to the stewards, they were simply trying to get a better exit. They asked a couple questions here. Should Alonso have the right to try a different approach to the corner? The stewards answered yes. Should Alonso be responsible for dirty air that ultimately caused the incident? No. However, did he choose to do something with whatever intent that was extraordinary? In other words, lifting, braking, downshifting, and all the other elements of maneuver over 100 meters earlier than previously, and much greater than was needed to simply slow earlier for the corner. Yes, by his own account of the incident, he did. And in the opinion of the stewards, by doing these things, he drove in a manner that was at very least potentially dangerous, given the high-speed nature of that point of the track. This season, the FIA Formula One penalty guidelines, including for this breach, have been reset and increased to a baseline of a 10-second penalty. In addition, when there is some aggravating circumstances, we consider a drive-through penalty. In this case, we consider De Alonso affirmatively choosing to perform an unusual maneuver, and at this point to be an aggravating circumstance as opposed to the simple mistake. Stewards therefore order a drive-through penalty, which will be converted to 20 seconds, added to car 14 elapsed time, along with 3 penalty points. Competitors are reminded that they have the right to appeal certain decisions of the stewards in accordance with Article 15 of the FIA International Sporting Code and Chapter 4 of the FIA Judicial Induced Disciplinary Rules within the appeal time limit. Decisions of the stewards are taken independently of the FIA and are based solely on the relevant regulations, guidelines, and evidence presented. Signed Tim Mayer, Matteo Pernini, Johnny Herbert, former driver, Matthew Selly. There's your 4 stewards for this week. Okay, Kim, thoughts? After I just read all that.
Well, there's really nothing that can be argued about then, because Alonso literally said
he admitted to it.
He admitted to what he did wrong.
He also admitted that he screwed up on that final lap.
Yeah, so there's really no point in arguing it.
No, I agree.
Let's be honest, though, in the game of 100ths of a second and sometimes thousandths of a second, these guys know damn well what they are doing, and if not, that is dangerous. Exactly.
Well, yeah. Again, we're talking about Fernando. Exactly, Dragon Buddy.
Yeah.
DB brings out a great point. And the thing is we're talking about Fernando Alonso.
A veteran driver.
He's a veteran driver. He has won one or two world championships.
Yeah.
He knows what the hell he's doing in these cars.
Exactly.
So yeah, again, and that's the thing is, but again, again, to DB's point, this isn't just in F1. This is in NASCAR. This is in IndyCar. This is in racing. Period.
Yeah.
The ones that usually get in trouble are the rookies.
Yeah. When the veterans start getting in trouble, they know damn well what they're doing.
Well, I mean, it's just like he said. He didn't expect it to slow down as much as it did.
Mm-hmm.
So then he sped up. Well, if they do that stuff, like coming to a restart, for after a safety car, it is a penalty.
Yeah, it is.
So again, I mean, obviously the race is over, so you got to do something about it.
Yeah, you do.
Anyways, well, we went on a long time on that one.
Yes.
So again, Lance Stroll finished P6. His teammate Fernando Alonso, with his penalty, finished P8. Finishing P7, Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah.
Team RB.
That was one that really shocked me too.
Yeah, Yuki did a great job.
Yeah.
Yuki has matured a lot.
He has. He's
really matured a lot more this season. And I think it is because of his teammate, who is Daniel Ricciardo, or Daniel Rick, the other Australian, the guy that likes to do the shoey on the podium.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Daniel Rick finished P12.
Yeah, he did.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
One lap down.
But we both admitted that he hasn't been the same since he left Red Bull.
That's true. Ever since him and Max had that problem.
He's not been the same.
Where literally Max went right in front of that Baku that year.
Baku, yeah.
And they wrecked out. You're right.
He has not
leaving the team. He has not been the same.
No, he has not been the same at all. It used to be nubbin is racing, and now it's nubbin on extremely technical.
It's rubbing, dear.
Rubbing.
What the hell are you getting? Clean your eyeballs out.
It was rubbing his racing.
There you go.
And now it's rubbing on an extremely technical level. Exactly.
Right. I mean, the only time the only time I heard the term rubbing is racing, that was in NASCAR. Straight up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so again, RB team, the sister team, the Red Bull. Finishing P7 for Sonoda. Great job. Danny Rick, like I said, P12. Never really had this footing up. It really hasn't had, like Kim said, he has not been Danny Rick since he left Red Bull. Originally left Red Bull.
No, he has not.
We already talked about Alonso in P8, P9, and P10. Here's a shocker to everybody.
This was a shocker to us.
Finishing P9 is Nico Hulkenberg, 104.553 seconds back to Carlos Sainz. The last car on the lead lap. Driver for the American team, Haas. Haas is in the points.
Yeah, not one, but two.
Right. And Kevin Magnussen, his teammate, finished P10. Haas knocked out 3 points this weekend.
Yeah.
Great job, them boys.
Yeah.
And actually, great job to the Haas team. I mean, this is obviously Gunther Steiner's car. I know Gunther is no longer part of the team, but man, they compared to last year where they were eating tires up and they would do really good on a quality run, and then they would come out and it would be they would just fall backwards during the race.
Mm-hmm.
And nice to see the boys up there running good. You know?
Yeah, and then the final team that just had one driver finished 11th, and that was Williams and Albon.
Wow, she's already done with Haas. Yep, no, great. You know, I'm happy the American team got 3 points, but okay, whatever. They fired Gunther. I fucking don't like him no more.
I didn't say that. I just think that they done Gunther a dirty deal.
No, Gene did Gunther a dirty deal. But hey, whatever. It's Gene Haas's team.
Yeah.
You know, my question is this: like, hey, Gene. By the way, we all heard the rumor that we all heard that since Smoke, Tony Stewart went to drag racing, he hasn't had really anything to do with Stewart Haas racing.
Yeah.
And guess what? Your car sucked there too.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Anyways, finishing P11, first car out of the points. The Williams car, the lone Williams car, Alex Albon.
Karma's a bitch.
Holy fuck. Oh, god damn, I was not expecting that.
Well.
Oh, geez, kid. Actually, no, we got a few more teams to go.
Yeah.
Oh, God. You were happy with Albon finishing outside the points, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
God. Karma's a bitch. Oh, man. Yeah, definitely. And for us men, we all know the rule. Speaking of that, karma's a bitch. Then you marry one, and then you die.
TV. Yeah. TV thought that was funny too.
I know. Anyways, finishing P13. Obviously, everyone here else is not in the points. Is Pierre Gasly, drives for
Alpine
Racing, yes. And his teammate Esteban Ocon, last car to actually finish the fucking race under power in P16. And then in P14 and P15, respectively, we have Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guan Yu.
Sauber.
What? Oh, God, what a bad day for... I mean, so the thing is with Sauber is they have an issue where the lug nut is cross-threading on the.
Yeah.
So now they got to do these really slow pit stops to make sure it's not crossing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, fix your damn car.
Yeah. I still say they changed the name and it was a curse to that team.
Oh yeah, because what now they're what Steak,
yeah.
Steak Sauber F1 team.
Yeah.
Or no, Kick.
Yeah.
Sauber F1 team. Like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ever since they changed, they left the name Sauber, they've done nothing with it.
Yeah.
And then the only one we didn't talk about, P17, and also the second guy was actually both these cars were actually DNF. However, the 7-time champion was the second one out of the race after his engine expired. But yeah, it really expired too. He's like,
yeah.
Guys, I got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, she was so sweet and so nice. I know, right? Oh, I do too, BB. I really do too, man. But yeah, so P17 classified was George Russell, even though he didn't finish the race.
Yes.
And again, Lewis Hamilton was knocked out due to an engine failure.
Yeah, and we heard the engine.
Oh no! If you watch the in-car camera on it, you can hear it just going away,
and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Silence. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, that's an engine blowing. Anyways, but that's the Australian Grand Prix.
Yes.
It took over, how much time did it take to finish this race? 1 hour, 20 minutes, 26 seconds.
Yes.
Compared to 4 hours of NASCAR.
Yeah.
Then they wonder why a lot of people like watching F1.
Yeah.
We don't watch it for, one, it is a pinnacle of racing. I hate to tell people.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it all. The only thing I really don't watch a lot of, and that's IndyCar.
Well, we know.
I watch IndyCar. Only time I watch IndyCar is during the 500.
Yeah.
Indianapolis 500 in May.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't watch IndyCar that a lot. I don't pay attention. I don't ever pay attention. I don't even know who their champions are.
I know.
I think maybe Rick Mears won a championship once. I know who. I know.
Yeah, but the new one.
If somebody come up to me and said, "Hey, I got trivia. Who's the guy known for the spin and win at Indianapolis 500? Oh, that's Danny Sullivan. Boom, yeah. I know that. I remember watching that race.
Yeah.
Spins out, comes back and wins the race.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, their last champion
we're not gonna worry about it. Anyways, you got anything else to talk about F1? Because next in 2 weeks we go to
Japan,
Suzuka, which real quick, we'll pull this up, get the schedule.
And that's April 5th through the 7th, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. April 5th through the 7th. For us here, the race starts at 10 o'clock our time. So that's 3 more hours on. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning for 10, 12, 1. Yeah, 1 Eastern.
Yeah, 1 Eastern.
So here we go. We're going to start 10 o'clock our time. Hey, that's great. 10 o'clock on a Saturday night.
Yay. Woohoo.
We're getting spoiled with all these Saturday night races.
Yes, we are.
Wow, we are getting spoiled with all these Saturday night races for F1.
We are.
Then we have to wait for NASCAR, which runs on Sundays.
I know.
Anyways, I guess the main thing is real quick, just a couple things. I don't know if I really want to believe Carlos when he said that he believes that they could have beat Max. But I think it would have been, like Carlos first, Max second, and then Charles third.
Which I truly believe that, yes.
Because even though over the whole weekend, it really felt like Ferrari had Red Bull's number.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't qualify first, they were still fighting for P1 qualifying.
They were.
There was a couple of mistakes made by Carlos and Charles, and there's a reason why Max got P1.
Yeah.
Other than that, Ferrari was really looking good the whole weekend, especially Carlos.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of like
okay, well, go get your appendix out. You can win a race.
Yeah, but the thing is, is that he's slapping Ferrari right in the face. Is what he's doing.
Oh yeah, he's definitely slapping him right in the face because it's like, oh, you want to get rid of me? hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. I mean, it's one of those things like, oh, well, you don't want me on your team no more. He said at the beginning, it seemed like it almost makes you think like, oh, you don't want me on the team no more. Okay, hold my beer. Let me just show you who you really should have kept.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry. They should have kicked Charles. I mean, I get it. The Monegasque Charles Leclerc is very likable. He's got a huge fan base, but so is Carlos.
Yeah, I know.
I know a lot of people want to see Lance kicked out of his car. And Carlos go to
Aston
Martin, where it's Lance Stroll's daddy's team.
My opinion is this.
Hey, Lance is proving something. I mean, Lance
is starting to prove that he is turning into a hell of a driver.
I mean, I'm assuming Daddy might have taken him off to the side this last offseason and said, son, if you start improving and start being up there with this old timer we have with the team, or I'm kicking your ass out.
Yeah. So he's starting to prove that he can be a good driver. He's starting to prove
otherwise
that.
It just goes back to that. I want it now.
Yeah. Where Daddy's got the team, I have his guaranteed seat.
Yeah, exactly. All righty. Well, let's get on to NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what your rant is about NASCAR.
Oh, you'll find out here in a moment.
Okay. All right, and this one we're going to do a little differently. We're going to talk about the start of the race, which green flag, they go up the hill, no incidents going to turn one a little bit. Let's see, William Byron leads field to green. By the way, William Byron drives a 24 car, formerly driven by
Jeff Gordon.
Made famous by Jeff Gordon. Mm-hmm. Anyways, he took the inside line. Ty Gibbs second outside. Ty Gibbs goes wide into turn one. Tyler Reddick moves into second from the inside lane. Corey LaJoie, Martin Truex Jr., and Bubba Wallace make contact off turn 11. Now that one was funnier than hell. Kim, hold up your hand like you're Martin Truex Jr., please. Over here. Okay. Out here, you got Bubba Wallace. Let me turn my mic. Corey LaJoie in here, and it was like this. They made Martin Truex Jr. the meat in the sandwich.
Well, that wasn't fair to him.
It was funnier than hell watching it.
Well, I'm sure it was funny, but it wasn't fair.
At that point, Corey LaJoie continued on the race. Martin Truex and Bubba Wallace decided to come down pit road. Bubba Wallace came down because he thought his steering wheel was now going straight down the road was now marked over at 1 o'clock, so he had a problem. The toe was knocked off, obviously, and Martin thought he had a possible puncture.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, for Bubba Wallace, he has never finished this race higher than 37th.
No.
And never finished a COTA race.
No.
Other than this, it was pretty much a boring race.
Other than the fact that the track has 2 white lines on each side.
All right. I'm not going to go over. Okay, hold it.
What?
Let's tee it up for a minute. So everybody knows, especially with F1, we have track limits. Mm-hmm. And now F1, they only give track limits in certain corners. They usually tell them on Friday where the track limits are, and sometimes before qualifying, they'll add 1 or 2 extra corners instead of just saying, hey, guess what? This track has a white line on the inside, white line on the outside. That is your track limits all the way around. I mean, let's go stick and ball sports. Stick and ball sports. Baseball.
There is a
foul lines.
Yep, there is a.
Hold on. What?
Yay, morning girls.
Football, American football. We have 2 out of bound lines. I mean, in NASCAR, we have an out of bound line in the inside of the speedway, a WL line at Daytona, Talladega. However, we had track limits in turns 3 through 4, the S's, and nothing else was track limited. She's growling already. Here we go. Hit it, Kim.
Okay. The fucking track has white lines. on the left side and on the right side, or vice versa. I don't care. If you're going to set fucking track limits, F1 and NASCAR, it's white line to white line. It's not corners 3, 4, and 5 or corners 1 and 2. It's white line to white line. Bullshit with this certain corners here, certain corners there. Let's add corners here. Bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Out of bounds is out of bounds. You're going to enforce it in Daytona. You're going to enforce it in Talladega. Fucking enforce it on all your tracks, including your fucking road courses. A road course is a road course. It's not the runoff area. That is off limits.
Wow.
What?
I'm literally looking at the soundboard over here at the mixer. Your number 2 theme was red. The number was red, like it was muted. Wow, you friggin' wow. I mean, you've gotten hot before, but I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah, right? I know. I always, every time yeah, I know the soundboard knows she's right. All right. Yes. So turn 8. Oh my gosh. Okay. As everybody knows, we went back to concrete at Bristol. We took the dirt off Bristol. So turn 8, they're literally driving below the rumble strip and got 2 wheels in dirt and kicking dirt actually up on the main part of the track. We got 4 wheels below the white line. We got nothing on rumble strips. This is turn 8. I wish I should have had this. I should have had a shot of like COTA turn 8 just for this, just to show it. Did I actually say 8?
Yeah, COTA turn 8.
Images, I should have said NASCAR. Anyways, Kim, anything else to say about track limits?
No, but F1 and NASCAR should fucking realize that it's white line to white line and not sit here and pick and choose whatever fucking corners they want. Most of the teams are there for both races, either Thursday or Friday before the race, and they need to fucking set them and enforce the fuckers. And it's white line to white line. It's not, well, I'm going to pick and choose this corner and I'm going to pick and choose that corner. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not finding a good photo of turn 8. Anyways, I'll find one. We'll get plastered on freaking social media. But yeah. Oh yes, track limits. Yeah, it's a good old track limits talk. Except for NASCAR, we don't imply nothing because I mean we go to Sears Point, or oh my gosh, I'm really showing my age again. Sonoma. We go to Sears Point, Sonoma. We don't have track limits there. But normally, usually, if you get off in the dirt there, you're off the track and you're gonna slide a little bit. And then Watkins Glen, the short shoot that we created since NASCAR can't run the boot because they're a bunch of little wood.
Oh, they should run the fucking boot. That's part of that track.
Exactly. Bring the boot back, even though NASCAR's never actually ran a boot.
I don't care. It's part of the track.
I know. Anyways, they run off and come off that high speed corner there, and yeah, they're like 4 inches out by the wall.
I'm not gonna smack you.
Sure. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, don't get her started on Priuses. Oh god. Poor Tom. I had Broncos fan when he would watch. He's like, "What's wrong with the Prius?" It's like, dude, just watch Jeff Dunham. You'll understand.
You'll understand.
Do you understand why she's laughing? Like argue with myself or something. Jeff Dunham argue with myself. Just watch that. You understand why she's laughing? Oh, anyways, we're gonna get to the end of the stage. So here we go. Stage racing and road courses.
That's bullshit too.
Did I just open another can of worms for you?
That's bullshit too. It was working just fine last year. It made the race go faster. And now to say, oh, stage racing don't work on road courses. Bullshit, NASCAR. There should be no stage racing, period. You're going to run 4-hour races? Fucking run them. Don't sit here and put fucking stage breaks in them and make the races more boring than what they already are.
Actually, hold it. I will argue this with you right here.
Except for Atlanta.
No. Stage racing does not make it boring because it at least brings all the cars back together to go 2 wide.
Well, yeah, so does the caution.
So we can have. That's what the stage break is for. A fucking caution. It's a predetermined caution. So literally, you're gonna get your wrecks. That's what the whole stage thing was for.
Fine, leave it on ovals, but take it off the fucking road courses. It doesn't need it.
I agree with that. I mean, that way you can get NASCAR fans to quit saying, well, at least we gonna have drivers out there winning by 23 or 32 seconds. Like, well, if you didn't have stage breaks in these races, yes, they would.
Yeah.
We always win out a lot. I mean, crud. I came from an era where, once in a while, guys would finish. The guy finishing the race would be 1 to 2 laps ahead of everyone else on track.
Well, yeah. But the thing
Those were the good old days.
But the thing is when they went to these new cars in 2022, the slot cars that they are now driving. No, well, yeah. The slot cars that they are now driving was supposed to bring everybody in to competition.
Where you had all 40 cars doing this, pretty much being in the same.
And it hasn't. It hasn't.
It has. I mean, the only places it hasn't had is it's hurt the short track package.
Yeah.
Like Martinsville, Richmond. Well, Richmond's not really a short track.
No,
is it?
No, Richmond's not a short track.
Because the way they got it banked up now, it drives like a mile and a half. It's not a mile and a half.
Yeah.
The only thing the new car did was make mile and a half racing good.
Yeah. But that's it.
Atlanta is another super speedway now, so I don't even consider Atlanta a mile and a half racing.
No.
I actually put Atlanta in there with Talladega.
Yeah, but you're still, even with this slot car, you're still seeing who's got it, who's on top and who's on the bottom, and who's the bottom feeders. There is no difference.
Who's on top? Who's on bottom?
Yeah.
Who's getting fucked in the middle?
Well,
All right, stage 1. So we had stage racing. Stages ended at 15:30, and obviously the full race is 68 laps. Stage 1 winner, top 6.
Hold on for just a minute.
Yeah.
Dragon Buddy says, off to work. Good to see the race show again.
DB, have a great one, buddy. Be safe. And yeah, I'm happy with that too. We are back. And the cool part is the regular show should be coming back too.
Yes.
I'm running on Kim Growls and Traction Compound.
Yeah.
Right on, brother. Have a good one. Be safe out there, bro.
Okay, go on.
All right. Finishing in stage 1, pretty much the top 6 were, they don't give you a whole 12. I guess I'll hear you. Christopher Bell wins stage 1, Daniel Suarez 2nd, Michael McDowell 3rd, Austin Cindric. You know what? I've got a button here. I know it's probably shows.
Yeah, you might as well.
Stage 1 results. There we go. That might help. Yeah, Michael McDowell 3rd, Austin Cindric 4th, Austin Dillon 5th. Wow, Austin Dillon actually finished 5th in something. On one style here. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 6th, William Byron 7th, Ty Gibbs 8th, Tyler Reddick 9th, and Ross Chastain 10th. That's the end of stage 2.
Stage 1.
Stage 2, we're just jumping because it was uneventful race.
Yeah, it was very uneventful.
I honestly think I don't think there was even a DNF.
There wasn't. There was not a DNF.
68 laps of.
The only thing that happened was car 34, I think McDowell
lost his power steering.
Yeah.
And he was driving hard.
Yeah, he was.
He was getting wore out. A matter of fact, I think he might actually DNF because they pulled him in with about 5 laps to go in the race.
Yeah.
So stage 2 winner, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney. Third was Martin Truex Jr. Fourth was Todd Gilliland. Nice job by Todd.
Yeah.
Fifth place was Ryan Prix. Sixth was Brad Keselowski. Seventh, John Hunter Nemechek. Eighth, William Byron. Ninth, Daniel Hemrick. And 10th place was Josh Berry, who took over for Kevin Harvick.
Yes. He's actually proven to be a good driver too.
Yeah. McDowell, let's say what lap he went out, but yeah, it says he's the only one that's labeled as not running. He went out for steering.
Yep.
I wish they used to tell you like how many laps.
I know, and now they don't.
Well, it's also the app too.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down. Winner of the race. Okay, so we had final piss-offs around between laps 24 to 22 to go. Christopher Bell was the last one to pit pretty much out of the leaders.
He was.
He was chasing down the eventual winner, William Byron.
Yes.
Had one more lap. I honestly think Christopher Bell would have won this race.
He would have. I agree with you. He would have one more lap and Christopher
had Gibbs Racing, Joe Gibbs Racing said, hey Ty Gibbs, we understand you want to do really well, but your teammate's a lot faster. Can you move over, see if he can chase down the leader?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they didn't either.
Because we know Formula One does team orders.
Yeah, we know that.
Anyway, so winner of the race, driving the 24 Hendrick Motorsports car, Chevrolet, William Byron. Second place for Joe Gibbs Racing in car 20, Christopher Bell. Third place for Joe Gibbs Racing, car 54, Ty Gibbs, which is Coach Gibbs' grandson.
Yes.
Finishing fourth for the Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet, Alex Bowman in the car 48. Fifth place for 2311 Racing, which is which is Denny and Michael Jordan's team, Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan's team. Car 45, Tyler Reddick.
Yep.
Sixth place, just running for this race, was the 13 car. I don't remember what team he drives for, but AJ Allmendinger. And seventh place, driver of the one car, the Trackhouse Chevy, Ross Chastain, better known as Watermelon Man.
Yes.
And eighth place, driving for RFK Racing, which is Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, car 17, Chris Buescher.
Side note on that.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I said it on the last podcast, but since Brad has bought into that company, or they've let him come over, they're coming back.
Right.
And since Reddick has moved over to 2311, he's really proven he can drive.
Yeah. Finishing ninth place in the number 8 car for RCR, Richard Childress Racing, Kyle Busch. Oh, there was an incident between Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell. Upon me looking at it a second time, I think Kyle was more in the right of being pissed off about it.
Okay, so was it Bell that went up and
Well, Bell went for a late break, obviously late braking into turn 1. Kyle was up here coming down, obviously making the kind of where he could run the corner harder.
Yeah.
And Bell turned in underneath him. And as he did, they met right at the apex.
Okay, so
I mean, honestly, I think
so. Kyle did have a good case to bring before Bell and ask what happened and why he did that.
Right.
The one thing I can say though is when they did show it, I don't know if it was put on for TV, but I can say it looks like it was a pretty civil discussion between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Busch yelling at you, and you're just gonna sit there and take it because you're younger.
Well, no, but I mean, there's been times that the conversation hasn't been civil. It's ended up in punch fights.
Right, but punch fights. It's called fist fights, Kim.
Fist fights. But Christopher...
Kim has her own language, people. Believe me. There's days I'll be sitting here, we'll be talking about something, and she'll say something, I'll go, what?
Yeah, but at least I like Punch Fights better. But yeah,
Oh gosh.
but yes, but he also gave Bell a chance to defend himself too, as well.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher Bell said he would have to go back and watch the incident to know. I think once Bell sees it, he's gonna realize he dove in deep
Yeah.
on there, dove in really hard. I mean, it was I don't remember what lap it was, but it was earlier in the race.
Yeah.
So it was like too early to be making moves like that. And
Yeah.
again, Bell's a younger driver, so he's gonna learn this stuff.
Yeah, he is.
Finishing 10th place for Joe Gibbs Racing car number 19, Martin Cheater Truex Jr.
Martin Truex Jr., he is not a cheater.
She says like the damn Patriots
No,
used to.
he does not.
Mm-hmm. Outside of the top 10, we're going to go through 11 through 20. Driving the 22 Penske Ford, Joey Logano. Your current 2023 NASCAR champion for Penske Racing. Number 12, finishing 12th, Ryan Blaney. Driving for the Stewart-Haas Ford. Car 14, Chase Briscoe. Driving for Joe Gibbs Toyota Racing, or Joe Gibbs Racing in the Toyota. Car 11, Denny Hamlin. Having his best finish ever at COTA in the fact that he finished the goddamn race.
Yes.
Finishing 15th, driving the 2311 Toyota car 23, Bubba Wallace. Good job,
Yes.
Bubba. I was listening to the radio all day. When he got in that wreck early on lap 1, he's like, great, our fucking day is done. I mean, he already gave up.
Yeah.
Booty's like, hey, Bubba, calm down. I mean, we'll get this fixed. First caution we come to, pretty much it's gonna be a first stage break. We're gonna get the car fixed for you, bro.
Yeah.
And then he got tagged up in a couple of other people. Keselowski wrecked him once.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if Brad actually wrecked. I mean, it was kind of like they met in the middle. So
Yeah.
that'll be an interesting talk on DBC,
Mhm.
which is door bumper clear, which is TJ Major's spots for Brad Keselowski.
Yep.
And Freddie Kraft spots for
Bubba
Bubba Wallace.
Wallace. Yes.
So that'd be a really good talk today about who took who out,
Yeah.
whatnot. But anyways, but no, great job from Bubba and
Yes.
the team. I mean, the team did a
Oh,
great
yeah.
job that day. They did a great job yesterday. They got him back up.
The one thing, like,
because that's the one thing real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you. One thing he said right at the end of the race was, "I fucking finished the race at COTA." Wow.
Yeah, and that's the thing is a 2311. Hello, Big Lovin'.
Yo, Brady. How we doing, man?
That's the thing though, is like Bubba said, this is the first year that both cars have finished. Well, at least.
Well, no, Tyler Ray has finished there.
I know, but
Bubba hasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Both cars finally finished the race. It wasn't one was out at the earlier part of the race and the other one finished by itself. Both cars for 2311 actually finished the race.
Finishing 16th, NASCAR's most favorite popular driver of the car 9 car Hendrick Motorsports Chevy, Chase Elliott.
Can I make a little side note on that?
Go ahead.
He hasn't been the same since his accident either.
Right, he broke his leg last year snowboarding up in Colorado.
And he hasn't been the same. No.
Yep. So he gets for snowboarding. I'm joking, Chase. I'm sure you don't listen to the show, but just in case you do, I'm joking. You've got to get away and get you're out of you've got to
get a clear mind.
Finish the 17th. Another Hendrick Motorsports Chevy. This is, notice one thing so far in this season. If you got 2 Hendrick Motorsport cars finishing good, there's 2 that suck.
Yeah.
That's been for years now.
Yeah.
In fact, even when Junior or Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Gordon drove for Hendrick, it's like they've not both put like all 4 cars up there for a long time.
Yeah.
Anyways, the number 5 car, Kyle Larson.
Hendrick Motorsports.
I just said that.
No.
Car 18, driving number 2 car for Penske Motorsports, finished 18th. Austin Cindric,
which was pretty awesome on his part, considering that they had to do some work on his car too.
Okay, I must have missed that part.
Yeah, what you remember my comment when I said the hood's up?
Oh yeah, that's right. He ran.
Yeah, that was Cindric's.
Okay. Driver of the number 71 Chevy. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know what team he's with, but Zane Smith finished 19th.
Is he with
I don't know.
I think he's with
He's one of those back marker teams
I know,
that I don't pay
but
attention to.
he
Spire Motorsports.
I believe he might be Spire.
Okay. Driver of the number 16 Chevy. Colic Racing. Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yeah.
Driver of the number 42 Toyota. I think it's Legacy, isn't it?
Yes.
Legacy Motorsports. John Hunter Nemechek. Finishing 22nd with Costin Horseflower in number 77 Chevy. We're not even going to go through. We're just going to go through the rest of them real quick. Finishing 23rd, number 41 Ford, Ryan Preece. Finishing 24th, number 7 Chevrolet, Corey LaJoy. Finishing 25th, the number 3 Chevy, Austin Dillon.
Richard Childress.
26th place, Todd Gilliland, driver number 38 Ford. Kaz Gralla finished 27th in the 15th, number 15 Ford. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 28th in number 47 Chevy. Kamayu Kobayashi finished 29th in the number 50 Toyota. Harrison Burton finished 30th in number 21 Ford. Oh, no comment out of you. Who owns that car?
What?
21 Ford. 21 Ford.
Oh, yeah, that's the Wood Brothers, who's been in NASCAR forever.
Right. Finishing 31st, Daniel Suarez, car number 99 Chevy. I believe that's Trackhouse. Car 32 or 32nd place, Eric Jones, driver of the 43 Toyota for Legacy Motorsports. 33rd went to Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 6 car. Finishing 34th was Noah Gragson, driving the 10 car. 35th, Josh Berry, driver of the 4 car. And those are both Fords. Another Ford in 36th, Timmy Hill, driver number 66. Daniel Hemrick, driver number 31 car, finished 37th. He drives a Chevy, by the way. The only car that was out of the race technically was Michael McDowell in car 34. It was Ford because he went out with steering and he finished 38th. And Justin Haley must have really been way behind on lap numbers here because he finished dead last, 39th in his, and it says running. The car was running. He drives number 51 Ford.
Read Brady's comment.
Which one? That one?
No, that one.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, he's going, WTF, I got kicked to another page, came back. What was it, Kim's rant again?
Oh Lord, what? Oh, there we go, right there. WTF, I got kicked to another team, came back. But Kim's right again. Oh, she had multiple rants this episode.
Yes, I did.
Multiple rants this episode. Like, come back come back second episode in and Kim's got a rant.
Yes.
Anyways, next week, Easter Sunday, we're back in Richmond.
Yes, we are.
And it will be Easter Sunday, so it's kind of crazy. We're racing.
Yeah, I know. Because usually they
get
don't
36 races done.
Yeah, they usually don't.
They only get like 1 week. I think barely get a week off this year.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to know any other stuff in with NASCAR? I highly recommend checking out any of the Dirty Mo Media shows. Actions Detrimental with Denny Hamlin. The Teardown with so Denny Hamlin's a driver. He hosts his own show now, but he's on with Dale Jr.'s Dirty Mo Media. The Teardown with reporters Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Gluck.
You'll have to read the last 2 comments.
What?
She's growling too.
Oh yeah, she was definitely growling. Right? And she's not cleaning it up. Brady was peeing himself while you were growling.
I know.
You got him scared, Kim.
I know.
Come on. I had to. Brady and everybody helped. Everybody, DB, Brady, and also LG all helped get that started. I just had to help finish it up. There she goes. Anyways, with that being said, 2 weeks before we come back with F1, so we only got NASCAR to talk about next week, so it'll be a shorter show, hopefully.
Yeah.
If there are any penalties, anything that comes out during the week, I will do a quickish live. It won't be something where I'm going to announce it. I'm just going to go live. So check it out. I'll do anything that comes out through the week with penalties, either through F1 and also NASCAR.
Yes.
Also, I don't know if anybody wants to try to do this. Yep, there we go. There we go. Okay, breathe. You're killing Brady. Right. Definitely get the fucking jumper cables. All right, Kim, stop it. Oh, God. Yeah, we don't want her to get going too much because if she does, she'll end up back in the hospital. Speaking of which, update on me real quick. Knee is doing a lot better. It actually, during this show, God, we've been going for an hour and a half now. It actually feels good. I walked down yesterday to get the mail because I had to get her some more Dramamine that came in through Amazon. Of course, they dropped the mailbox and she was working, so I went down and got it. And so we're gonna try to do what we can I'm gonna try to take better notes. I'm gonna try to take notes when I'm not really dependent upon NASCAR and looking at their deals. I'm gonna take some notes and stuff. But I mean, honestly, this race, I mean, there are the only two yellow flags were stage breaks. Only two yellow flags were stage breaks. Hello, Don No Snooch. The only two yellows were the stage breaks. There was no people spin out all over the place.
They just kept it going.
They just kept it green. So
well, the track is actually big enough.
I know that track is big. Well, that's what she said. You did say that.
Yeah.
Do you like a big track or a small track?
Both?
Which is better, a wider pit road or a smaller pit road? Or less girthy pit road? Here we go.
She's flooded for sure. Stevie.
Yep. Thank you, Don. Yeah, it's great to be talking about racing. But yeah. So we'll be back next week. We're going to talk about Richmond.
Yes.
Like I said, during the week, if anything comes out for either by NASCAR penalties or whatnot, I'll do a quick show and I'll talk about it. Or even F1 if something comes out. Other than that, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yes. Brady said this shit's going on TikTok.
There you go.
And then Lil G says this is the best start to a Monday in a long ass time.
Speaking of which, also anybody we got really good announcer voice wants to kind of give us like an opening or something like I don't know. I know I'm going to change the
background.
I'm going to change the background. I'm also going to change the opening, the intro to this on this show, just for this show here, because this is completely different than the rest of the used and
Yes.
abused. But yeah, you know, anybody wants that's got a great announcer voice. You know, and it'd be one of those things where, you know, one of my favorite spots that used to be on ATSW, the Escape Pod.
Uh-huh.
It's movie time. Do, do, do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah. All right, on Darius. Oh yeah, friggin' Darius, man. But yeah, Darius got a hell of a good voice.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's Monday for y'all. Have a great work day. Yeah, it's movie time. Anyways, have a great day at work. Everyone else just have a great, safe day out and about. If you are out and about, if you're in this, if you guys are still in the colder sections, stay warm. We are on the
Back.
well, we cooled off a little bit the last couple of days.
Yeah, we have.
Because there was a big ass friggin'
cold
cold front jet stream or something. Cold front came through.
Yep.
Like, holy shit, we went down in it. But
yeah.
Other than that, we love you guys too.
Yes.
Exactly.
Brady.
I love every one of you.
Yes.
Everyone that tuned in today, regardless of what time you tune in, I love you all.
Yes.
And it's great to be back. It's great to be back talking about racing. And if things work out, we could look like we're returning back on Sunday nights.
Yes.
With the regular show, because Kim's work schedule is going to change this right where at least we hope it's going to change this right. Otherwise, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. But right now, the next schedule change comes down in a week. So,
yep.
And
they're changing her schedule again, folks.
Yes, and if it does change, then yes, most likely on Sunday nights would be the best option. But we'll keep you posted and find out more, so we'll know when the other show actually is coming back.
Exactly. But let's go ahead and
get some housekeeping taken care of. Thank you to Adam Goswick from A Certain Point of View podcast for creating our new remix logo. Support the show. Go to ko-fi.com/useandabusedpod or scan the QR code.
I'm not good at doing this.
Yeah,
my brain's going. Oh, it's over there. It's right there. But
yeah, scan the QR code on the screen here. It'll take you right to it.
Or wait until I turn Patreon back on.
Yeah, check out the ATSW family. Yes,
ATSW family. Check them out.
Yes.
Oh, what the hell?
We're still going on.
We froze.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, not. No,
we don't.
Okay, yeah. well, we're frozen on my computer, guys.
Sorry.
What the fuck? Oh, wait a minute. What the hell is this button? Holy crap. Okay, I'm not used to using Windows.
Yes.
All right, Scott.
Please get your shit together.
The Sidebar Cantina live every Monday on YouTube at 5:30 Eastern.
Tonight,
yes. Tonight. Join them tonight. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Also, ATSW, the Escape Pod, every
Pantless Wednesday.
Live on YouTube at 7:05 p.m. Eastern.
Well, real quick, Sidebar Cantina. God.
Blah, blah.
With David Jason today.
Yes.
Later today.
Yes.
Every Pantless Wednesday. Don Solsky. Jesus Christ, Scott.
Please get your shit together.
Don Della Snooch, Dragon Buddy, and the sexy man himself, Brady Big Lovin'. You know why he's called Big Lovin', right? Fucking horse. I've heard. Check our man Keith Layman on Layman's Terms on YouTube. Your drunken banter plus also talks about magic and whatever else is on his mind. Check out Keith. Make sure you'll give him a subscribe. Give all these people we talk about a subscribe and like and follow. Oh. Also, Thursday nights, check out Grave Reviews. I have not added it to the theme yet.
We got to add that. And that is with Alan
and Dragon Buddy.
And they review.
By the way, I'm going to say it to you. Both those men are sexy too. So yes. Don.
Yeah.
Don's sexy too.
Well, they do review horror movies. Horror flicks.
Did you just say horror
No,
or horror?
horror flicks.
I'm like, dude, Great Reviews is doing horror. Wow, they're doing porn now.
No, it's horror flicks such as the
I love giving you
An
shit.
American Werewolf in London, I think is what I read.
All right, real quick. Escape Pod are talking about aliens.
Yes.
And Sidebar Cantina tonight are talking Bad Batch episodes 6 through 8, which is great for Scott because he's never watched any of it, so we're good. All right. Yeah, so great reviews, man. Check them out Thursdays.
Yes.
Also, with Don Dale Snooch and Little Girl, Stranger Things has happened. They just had an episode this last Saturday. And yeah, well, all I can say is yes, Scott is way fucking behind.
And
He needs to
get caught
I
up.
gotta get caught up. I gotta watch the current episodes where I'm at in season 3.
Yeah.
Then turn around and watch their show.
Yeah.
To get their,
Because they're watching it for the first time.
Right, they're watching for the very, very first time.
And that,
so whatever you do, if you tune in and you've already seen all these episodes of Stranger Things, do not give any spoilers or anything that's gonna happen beyond the episode that they are talking about.
yes, and it's every other Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Right. Nope, 7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern. You gotta change that.
Yep. Make notes, Kim.
Well, what?
Also, Swede Studios and Explicit Noise on YouTube. Swede, man, the legend. Swede.
Yes. Orange and Fett Show on Spotify.
Wow, she's just jumping ahead.
And Apple Podcasts, iTunes. Go to bio.link/red5 to find more exciting podcasts.
And of course, our links can be found in the show notes, pinned to the top of our Twix page.
Yes.
Or Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. We're calling it Twix. We'll blame Spencer for that one.
Go to bio.link/usabusepod.
Oh, I thought you knew it. And yes, penis. Oh, my bad. I meant to hit that one. And sometimes Kelly says penis. And then she said penis. And with that, folks, I am Scott.
I am Kim.
She is the motor running. Get the motor running. Down the highway. Looking for a banjo. Anyway, until next Monday morning.
Yes.
We are 1/3 or 2/3 of Jesus Christ.
We're 2/3 of used and abused.
God, Lord, good Lord. Oh, fuck.
No,
Please get your shit together.
All right, anyways. With that being said, have a great week.
And a great weekend.
Be kind to everyone. Oh, Lord. It's bedtime for me.
Yes.
And Kim. Good night.
Good night.
Peace.
Peace.
Now, good night, everybody. And somewhere there's a butt there.